Do you ever ask if you are stuck in a rut? Sometimes we get in these ruts where we feel tired or sluggish, or we just completely lack motivation. And while these ruts can be caused by a variety of things, like piling on too many responsibilities, being overwhelmed with the messy home and clutter, it could be a packed schedule, or even it's health related issues. No matter what you might be dealing with in this moment, if you are feeling tired or sluggish, there are still ways that we can help shift our days to help us get things done, especially on those days where they're tougher and we just don't feel like we have any energy left. So, I want to share with you 7 ways that I personally use to help me get motivated when I feel tired or sluggish, and I hope they help you.
Are you ready to stop the chaos, the stress, the overwhelm that's filling your life? I'm Renae Matt, and together you and I are going to build simple routines that are going to change your life. When you put these habits into practice, you're going to be able to organize your life in a way where you can be there for your family, pay off your debt, save money, your house can stay organized, you don't have to stress about what's for dinner, and you still get time for yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the Routine Advantage Podcast.
I am definitely somebody that kind of goes up and down in my levels of energy. And a lot of times I always thought that it was just because I was so stressed. I had a lot on my calendar, I had a lot that I was thinking about, and I just always felt like I was pouring out into absolutely everything and I just didn't have enough energy left to spare. And more recently, I realized that there are definitely reasons to it, and a lot of it is hormone related. So there are reasons why I'm so incredibly tired sometimes, but I know that is the case for so many of us. And it doesn't matter if it is health related or if it is just overpacked schedules or just the state of our homes. There are days where we are just absolutely exhausted. And it doesn't necessarily even mean that we're tired, but we just have no motivation. And there are definitely things that we can do to help with these areas, but I want to share with you what I personally have found to be super helpful for me. And you can try these if any of them work for you, that is amazing. But it definitely, you want to test some things with you and yourself and to be able to see what does work for you in these situations because you will find that there's probably a handful of things that you can do that help get the ball rolling when you feel it, like you're in these states where you need a little bit of help and encouragement to continue going. And I have found that a lot of times when I use one of these tips to get me out of that sluggish state, it actually does energize me a little bit more. And at the same time, it helps me get some things done. So, number one, I want you to prioritize rest. And this is probably the hardest one, and probably the one that's like, really? Like, if I'm tired, you want me to rest? Like, I could have told you that. That's not rocket science. Like, but a lot of us have a tendency that if we are tired and sluggish, we still try and push through. And then we beat ourselves up for all of the things that we're not getting done. And I know that this is the case for me. If I wasn't doing something, I would just try to do something in like a not very well way just so I felt productive, but it was never my best work and I wasn't getting things done in a way that was beneficial to me. I would have been better off just taking the time to prioritize the rest, and then I would have shown up better to actually tackle the projects. So, this is something I want to encourage you to think about. Like, when you are feeling this way, do you actually need some sleep? And that might be going to bed earlier. It might be getting some days where you actually take the time to sleep in. It might even be taking a nap if you have that opportunity. But really look at how you've been sleeping lately to see if maybe just even a 20-minute nap is going to do you a lot of good as you try and move through this. So I really want you to think about that and whether or not you need to prioritize rest. Number two, is to focus on healthy foods. More often than not, when we are feeling these states of being tired and sluggish, both my husband and I, a lot of times it's because we haven't been prioritizing like nutritious food. So we will end up just making a big salad and grilling some chicken and throwing lots of vegetables and stuff in there. And I will, as a side note, it's usually not what you're craving because you're in this mode. A lot of times I'm actually craving junk food, but we end up making the salad instead, and, like, as you're eating it, it's like, "Yes, this is exactly what I needed," and we end up feeling so much better. So, if you, have maybe not been prioritizing those nutritious vegetables and foods, think about doing that because that also helps. The number 3 way is to lean on your routines. When we are building these routines, especially the 5 foundational routines that I talk about, when we're building these routines, the whole point is to create simple structures that we can go to and use those as our default. So when we are building a routine and we are feeling like so unmotivated, we can lean on that routine to help us just accomplish simple tasks. So this might be your daily 7 home routine where your day is just feeling so out there, you are totally exhausted, but you know like I can just do the first thing I need to do in my daily 7 home routine and it will launch me into my routine and I can at least reset my home in 20 to 30 minutes and then be done. So it's just kind of almost talking yourself into what it is you need to do. But that is why I absolutely love routines because even in the crazy busy times of our life or in the super unmotivated times in our life, we can lean on these routines to help power through what we actually need to show up for so we don't feel like everything is falling apart. So the number 4 thing is to delete my social media again. Because a lot of times, if I'm feeling this way, I will do a little quick recap and I look at my phone and my screen time. And usually my screen time has gone up. When I get attached to my phone and I forget to re-delete apps, then I end up spending more time on my phone, which actually pulls me into these moods. So if I can keep that off of my phone, I know that I'm going to feel so much better. So I actually just did this the other day because I am not perfect by any means. And I will have to, or I don't have to, but I choose to re-download something like an Instagram or Facebook or something to check on it or to look at, my family might post something. There recently, my family just totally flipped a house and they are posting it. So I wanted to log in and share the post so that anybody in that area, any of my friends on Facebook might be able to see it and refer it to their friends so they can get this house sold. It is beautiful and I wanted to share that. So by doing that, I ended up rather than just going to my computer and doing it, I downloaded Facebook back onto my phone and I started doing that. Well, then I got onto the Facebook Reels and I started scrolling and they always freeze on my phone anyway and it's just frustrating to me. So I can't even watch them all the way anyway, but I got in this rut of just scrolling all this useless information and it was just totally bringing my mood down, and once I realized that, I was like, "Ah, I did it again," and I just deleted Facebook off my phone, and since then, I have had more energy again, shocker. So, it's just makes a huge difference. So, if you have not done this yet, delete social media off of your phone. You can still access it when you need to, just re-download it if you need to, or go on your computer if you have to, but most of the time if we just get it off our phone, you will find that you have more time and space to actually get things done. And you might even feel a little bored, which is totally okay. You can find something else to do. Number 5 is to go outside and take a walk. This one is huge because, again, if you are feeling tired and sluggish, the last thing that you probably want to do is get outside and take a walk instead of curling up on the couch and watching Netflix or Hulu or whatever streaming service you have. That is way more attractive than going outside and getting a walk in. But that is actually what we need is we need the movement, we need the sunshine and just going out and promising yourself to just walk around the block or just go down to the end of the driveway and back, wherever you live, just go out and do something. Go walk in the grass in bare feet for 5 minutes and then come back in and see how you feel because it can totally change your mood and give you some rejuvenation that you are really craving and need in these moments. And just going outside and taking a walk is one of the best ways that you can do that. Number 6, I just realized that I have 8 on this list, not 7. So you get a bonus one. I can't count apparently. But before we go into that, number 6 is do an in-home workout. Now, this could be you're just like doing an actual weight training. Again, you have to get yourself in the mode to do this, but you have to be disciplined even if you're not feeling that motivation. So you could have the weights ready. So when you feel these moments, you could just grab your weights and just do some squats whatever it is, or you could do a video. It might even be just sitting down on a rug or a mat and doing some stretches and some deep breathing. Like, do something that is small and short so it doesn't feel overwhelming, but will help boost your mood. And like I said, test these out, see which one works best for you in these moments. Because if you're laying on the couch all day long and you get up and you take 5 minutes to just stretch and do some deep breathing, you might feel like, okay, I've got that. I feel like I'm in a better mood. And now I'm okay to go back to the couch. Like, okay, there are some days that I do that. So I totally understand. But you could also do the stretching and the deep breathing and then realize, like, okay, I feel better. I have a little more energy. Now I'm going to do my daily 7 home routine and reset my home so I feel really good about the state of my home. Well, then once you do that, maybe you want to reset your meal planning routine and make sure you're prepared for the week ahead. And it just kind of snowballs because you have these routines in place. So it's just usually just tipping over the edge and doing that one first thing that will really help you. And sometimes that's just 5 minutes of movement. Okay, number 7 is to put on some concentration music and set a timer. Now, this concentration music or study music, if you look it up on YouTube, there are tons of different ones. I do have some specific ones that I have found work the best for me. So you might have to listen to a few um that really work for you, but what the purpose is to get you kind of in a zone. It's not necessarily to really listen to the music and enjoy the music. It's kind of to put it in the background and help your brain focus on something else. So if you start listening to this type of music and you're like, this is not very enjoyable, the purpose is not to actually like listen to the music. So find some music that works really well for you so that you can really focus on your task, whether it is work related and computer work, if it is cleaning, if it is doing any sort of task. Think about trying some music, and maybe it's like loud blasting music with lyrics because the concentration music doesn't usually have lyrics, but maybe the music that works really well for you does have lyrics. Do something that works well for you or listen to something that works well for you and set a timer. I love setting a timer for 20 minutes. That seems to be like my sweet spot for timing. I love setting a timer for 20 minutes. It gives me enough time to really like dive in, get focused, do my work, and I can get a lot done in 20 minutes. And this is usually like computer work, but it could work for anything. I also set timers for things in my home if I'm really having a hard time focusing. It just helps a ton. So I like 20 minutes. Turn on the concentration music. And then once you get through that 20 minutes, you can decide at that point if you're done or if you want to set it for another 20 minutes and keep going. And it just helps me focus so much, especially when I'm feeling really sluggish and having a hard time concentrating. So number 8, so this is that bonus one that I totally forgot to include. Number 8 is to focus on doing small things first. Like I said, have that one little thing you can do, and it will potentially launch you into being more productive. So, like, let's say for instance, you are feeling super tired and sluggish. and you know that your kitchen is just a mess and trashed. So you tell yourself, okay, I can go in and I can just wash the sink load of dishes. That's all I'm going to do. And start there. So just go in and wash the dishes. You don't have to worry about drying them or putting them away. Just wash the dishes. Well, then once you do that, you might, by the time you get to the end of it, you might feel like you have enough energy to wipe off all the counters. Okay, wipe off all the counters. And then because you already have the dishes done and the counters wiped off, you could finish up by sweeping the floor. So you sweep the floor. It is just stacks on top of each other, and you focus on just one thing at a time. And before you know it, your entire kitchen is clean and reset. And that feels really, really good. And another instance might be your house is just kind of a mess, and you know that laundry is piling up and is super overwhelming. Don't think about all of the laundry you have to do. Just start small. So it's one task. Grab a laundry basket and go room by room and gather up any dirty laundry. Just start there. And then once you do that, then you can move to the next thing if you have enough energy. Go to your laundry room and sort it out however you need to. And if you have enough energy, go ahead and put a load in the wash. It's not that hard. It takes 2 minutes to sort it out and put it in the wash. Okay. And then when it comes time, set your timer so you don't forget about that load in the wash, but set your timer. And then when it comes time for that timer to go off, listen to something fun. You can go back to the music. You can turn on a podcast. You can just listen to an audiobook, whatever you want, and then go back to your laundry room, switch the load while you're listening to something, and then throw another load in if you're really bombarded with laundry, or just focus on doing one load a day to start and to help you get reset in your laundry area to just focus on completing one load of laundry every day and see where that takes you. See if that helps. But it's just doing the little simple things and not focusing on the big things that need to be done. Focus on the little things, and it will help pull you out of that tired, sluggish state so that you can get one thing done. And from there, you can choose if you want to stop or if you want to keep going. But I know for myself, more often than not, I will do that one thing and it will give me enough energy and motivation to get to the next thing and to do to the next thing. And because I have the routines in place, I don't have to look at doing something and at thinking about, well, if I do everything, it's going to take me 3 hours. That's not the case. It will take me 20 minutes because I have everything stacked in a way that once I do it, I can launch into it and get it done and just be done with it. And it is the best feeling. So I hope these help you and encourage you to really build the routines in your life that work really well, that can be your go to when you get in these states. But when you are feeling tired and sluggish, we'll recap those 7 plus 1 bonus of ways to get motivated or get more energy when you're in these states. So, a really quick recap is number one, make sure you are still prioritizing rest. Number two, focus on healthy foods and get those nutrients in. Number three is to lean on your routines, those simple structures that you have built for the areas of your life where you need to get things done. Number four is to delete social media. Number five, go outside and take a walk. Number six, do an in home workout, whether it's weights or even just 5 minutes of stretching and deep breathing. Number seven, put on some concentration music or whatever music is your favorite and set a timer. And that bonus tip is to focus on doing small things first and then choose if you want to go to the next thing. But focus on the small rather than the big so it doesn't feel so overwhelming and just get one task done at a time. So, hopefully, these will help you. And if you are feeling tired and sluggish, go take a nap if you can. Prioritize that rest so that you can show up more energized and feeling much better while making sure that you are taking care of yourself first so that you can go and take care of others around you because that is what we all want to be doing is taking care of those around us, but when we're feeling so tired and sluggish, it's really hard to show up, and I'm hoping that these these 8 ways or tips will help you to find something that works really well for you to pull you out of that state that you can focus on. And if these don't work for you, then I hope you test some things out to see what does actually work for you. And if you have not yet built your 5 foundational routines, you can go back into these episodes and build those out because I do have episodes that focus on all 5. And you can do those, or you can actually go to get our workbook, which is at yourorganizedlifeblueprint.com. And that will walk you through building those 5 foundational routines so that you have those quick go to default routines to help you when you need those routines to turn to. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you on the next episode.
Did you love that episode or learn something useful? If so, would you do me a huge favor? My goal is to grow this podcast and help as many women as I can break free from the overwhelm so they can truly enjoy their life. The best way for me to do this is for you to leave a 5-star written review on your podcast app and to share this episode with a friend or in your Instagram stories. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.